Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys I'm going to be profiling for you a deck that I did get the idea from Davinator 122, I believe his name is, on YouTube. But I've tweaked the deck a lot around. I know he profiled it like 6, 7, 8 months ago. So I've been tweaking the deck around. I was trying different builds, trying to come up with an idea to play this deck because I really wanted to play it for you guys after playing Exodia and different win condition type of decks. And that is the Destiny board deck, or more specifically, Destiny board counter fairies. Because I was like, well, I want to play counter fairies one day. I was building the deck, on the side, and then I saw him like months and months ago playing Destiny board with counter fairies, and I was like, put the two together. But yeah, go check out Davinator. I'll leave his link down in the description below, hopefully, if I don't forget. But yeah, I got this idea from him, but though I've added a whole bunch of different cards and tried out a whole bunch of different things. So without further ado, I'll get into the deck profile. So let's get started, guys. It's really fun. The deck does clog a little bit, so I'm still testing the deck out and working on it, but I hope to have that next time I profile this deck, have it a little bit changed up, have it a little bit more consistent, but that will come with time. First we run your 3 Guardian Ariande, or Aria Grande, as I call her. Yes, I know, it's funny. It's funny to me. Card's good. Pendulum Zone, you don't have to pay anything for your trap monsters, which is awesome. You can, if she gets destroyed, you get to add trap, counter traps to your hand. Great card overall. So your 3 Aria. Then you run your 3 Bountiful Artemis. Great card in the deck. It gives draw power to your deck. If you have this and this in your opening hand and some counter traps, you can just go off. So yes, 3 Bountiful Artemis. Next we run, that's all the monsters you run. I know it's a low monster count, but that's all you need to run. Next you run your draw engine, pretty much. Your 3 Card Demise. Now, people will say, well, what happens if you draw into your Destiny board engine, What would you do then? You have to discard your, your letters and, your things like I, L, or A, or N, or whatever the case may be. Yes, that is very true, and it sucks when you do that. So, what I found is I ran cards in the deck that were trap-based or spell-based that I could re-add those cards back to my hand. So if I drew into, Card Demise, and I drew into those cards, and I had discard other cards at the end of the turn, I could still put them back in the deck and still keep the engine going. So it does work, and Card Demise really helps this deck out. So it works in Therio, so just work with me here. So 3 Card Demise. Then we run 3 Pod Duality because you're running Card Demise, and Pod Duality and Card Demise goes together like peas and carrots, as Forrest Gump once said. So 3 Pod Dualities. Then I run some cards here that other spell cards, which I'll talk about very quickly. You run your other draw engine cards, your 1 Day of Peace and your 1 Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin staple, 1 Day of Peace. You don't take damage, you get to draw. You don't really, you're not going offensive, you're just playing with yourself, kind of. But yep, your 1 Day of Peace and your Upstart Goblin. Then you run your 1 Recycle. The reason we run 1 Recycle, and I'll show you as I find it, 1 Jar of Avarice. So these cards play together, okay? These cards are your outs, quote unquote, to add back cards that you discarded to the graveyard off Card Demise, like your letters. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, this is such a bad hand, I got a whole bunch of my letters, what am I going to do? Now, I will admit in the future I may add a second Jar of Avarice, but I do really like Recycle as well, so I'm still play testing it around, kind of. But Jar of Avarice and Recycle, if you discard those cards to the graveyard off Card Demise, you can add them back to your deck. For Recycle, as I read the card right here for you guys, it states, during your standby phase, you can pay 300 life points to select non-monster cards in your graveyard and return them to the bottom of your deck. So I'll use this for your message letters, but also you can use it for things like 1 Day of Peace and Upstart Goblin, which are kind of nice. Jar of Avarice is pretty simple. You can target 5 cards in your graveyard, add them back to the deck, and draw, how many cards was it? 1 card? Yeah, and 5 screen your deck, and then draw 1 card. So they work well in the deck to recuperate losses off Card Demise. So you don't have to feel bad when you discard 1 or 2 letters. because you'll be like, I can get them back. It's fine. So yeah. Next you run your 3 Dark Sanctuary. I'm thinking about maybe keeping 3 Dark Sanctuary in, or cutting one for a Terraforming, which I'm kind of debating at the moment, but 3 Dark Sanctuary. It's a beautiful card. I love the artwork of this card. It looks so badass. Look at those eyes. Even when I was a kid, this card scared me, but I'm so happy I get to play this deck. So 3 Dark Sanctuary. Next I run 3 Destiny Board F. Now, me as a player, I just wanted to run 2 of them, but then when I was running 2, I was finding myself saying, I really need that 3rd Destiny Board F, and then sometimes you're going to find yourself with these clunky hands where you have 2 of these and it doesn't really matter, and you're going, so I'm debating still, and I'm still testing this out, if I should run 2 Destiny Board Fs or 3 Destiny Board Fs. Right now I'm going with 3. In the future, I may cut it down to 2 and add a second jar of Avarice instead. That way I can recoup things off card demise. But until that time, I'm running 3. That makes sense, because you really need to get to this card quickly. Because if you don't get the Destiny board, you're kind of out of luck. It's a lot harder to get off than Exodia, I'll just say that. Next we run your final, so let's just put it here, F-I-N-A-L. You only run 1 of each of the letters, that's all you need. If you draw 2 in your opening hand, you have to discard off card demise, just do it, do it, do it. Because you can add them back to your deck. If you draw 1 in your opening hand, I mean, they're literally dead in your opening hand unless you have F. They literally are. That is the problem with the card of the deck. You can't get these, you can't set them, you can't activate them, you can't do anything with them. Only have your Destiny Board F can activate it. It sucks. It really, really does, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's why I run the 3 Fs. It sucks, but that's the only way. Then I run 3 Drowning Mirror Force. You run Drowning Mirror Force because, for different reasons. You're going to get attacked directly, and this can buy you time. Number 2, with Dark Sanctuary, your opponent can only attack you directly. So you can have like a message board out in the field with Dark Sanctuary's effect. So I can special summon, if I have final, you know, the trap card F, I can go I as a monster. Your opponent can't attack this as long as Dark Sanctuary is on the field. They attack you directly. You activate Drowning Mirror Force. Haha! I tricked you. It's kind of evil, but it's fun. So 3 Drowning Mirror Force is definitely a staple in the deck, hands down, in my humble opinion. Next up, I run 2 Cursed Seal, the Forbidden. This protects you against things that could destroy your Dark Sanctuary or destroy your other things. And you get draw power, and it's free. So 2 Cursed Seal. 2 Drastic Drop Off. You could run 3, but I just prefer 2. 2 Drastic Drop Off. 3 Ultimate Providence. Card's amazing with Aria. And then your Solemn Brigade, your 3 Solemn Strikes, and your 1 Warning. So yeah, you really want to get to Aria as quickly as possible. I'm not joking. Just saying. You really want to get to Aria. So that is the deck, guys. There is no extra deck you really need. You could run some rank 4s if you really, really, really wanted to. And I may run more monsters in the future. The problem is, it's the Destiny board engine. It's not super consistent to begin with. You have to run enough Fs, because if you don't, then you're going to have this problem where you're going to have dead cards in your hand, or you just might maybe be able to do something. So the deck has like a 50, you know, maybe 55 win ratio to 50%. You're going to have games where you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is such a bad hand. And then you're going to have hands where, you know, times where you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is such a good hand. That's the problem with the deck. I mean, it's very simple. It functions around your counter fairies, but at the same time, you can still attack and do different little things here and there. So, I mean, I tried it out with just the draw engines like Stall Tactics with like Threatening War, Swift Scarecrow, things of that nature. The deck had no chance in heaven to win, because your opponent would just keep pushing through your stuff eventually. So I found that having traps and using the counter fairy engine with the draw engine in tow worked a lot better than using the stall engine. So I went for the draw engine kind of instead. But that's just my thoughts on the deck, guys. It's very fun to play. Sometimes you're going to get clunky hands, but it's a very fun deck to play. And this is the best build I can find and tested that works for me. But till next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. And I hope all of you enjoyed my Dark Sanctuary deck. Deck's really fun to play. I will mention that you really want to get to Dark Sanctuary and your F as quickly as possible. If you get message board letter F in Dark Sanctuary in your opening hand and you have, you know, a decent hand besides those two cards, you usually will win. But it just depends. But till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.